Welcome back, folks. B-Shooter94 here. We are back with our Go Home Monday Nitro for our Slammiversary pay-per-view. I wanted to say, first off, thank you to everybody who came and enjoyed the content last week, as we got over 100 views for the first time on a Nitro since we've come back. So I was so happy with that. Can't thank you guys enough. Thank you for all the comments and positive feedback, and just overall, just being there, guys. I greatly appreciate all the support, and we're building. So without further ado, let's get to the show. We're in front of 7,300 people in the Southwest region. We just do a quick little recap at the end of Nitro last week with Sting and Booker, with that brawl that ended the show. 68 overall segment rating here. Booker and Sting has advanced the storyline, but unfortunately they did lose a little bit of heat, but I'm not worried about that situation. We did have a pop-up last week about Sting's gimmick, so we're just going to change a little bit, tweak it a little bit, make him so he's a fan's own, which is pretty much what he is. He's the franchise of WCW. So having said that, changed, he got a very good rating, very good rating on his new character. So, well, character, he's still the same, but 68 overall segment. So good stuff. Little recap here. We open the show. Camera pans to Bischoff's office and says that after last week's shocking end of Nitro, this week if Sting and Booker touch or attack each other this week, the match at Slammiversary is off. He does not want this match ruined by an injury like Starrcade was, and refuses to let Sting and Booker T wrestle tonight on the show. So, if you've been with me since the beginning, guys, that Starrcade was supposed to be Booker and Sting for the belt. My dumb self put Sting in a match in the Go Home show and he tore his ACL. And that's how we actually got all the way to this point. So we're just doing a little segment here from Bischoff with a 74 rating. Just making sure that they don't wrestle tonight and having a storyline reason at least why that is. So there's that. Our in-ring, we open with the Dynasty down in the ring. Jeff Jarrett, Dustin Rhodes, and BG James. And they cut a promo about Rey Mysterio, saying that this Sunday, Jeff Jarrett is going to become the WCW champion. And that Rey Mysterio has just been holding on to that belt by the skin of his teeth. And that Jeff Jarrett is supposed to be the chosen one. He is what we like to call the Dynasty. So obviously, good little promo here. WCW Championship storyline advance, 72 overall rating. Get interrupted by Mr. Mysterio, and Rey challenges the Dynasty to a 3 versus 3 match tonight in the main event, and Rey's gonna find 2 partners to face off against the Dynasty. 69 overall segment. I wish that was a 70, but that's okay. We got a big main event announced. Mysterio is gonna find some partners to face the Dynasty, and the championship storyline has advanced. So good opening segment, I think. Definitely different from last week, and I know this is kind of more of a formulaic, that might not be a word, but formula style opening to the show, but I think it's a go-home show, so you kind of have to have this a little bit. So let's get to our next segment. And in our first bout of the evening, Chris Kanyon defeats Billy Kidman in 804 with a flatliner. Chris Kanyon is 75, Billy Kidman a 54. Chemistry is great and it's shown their performance. Billy Kidman has a gimmick that's getting stale, so let me just write that down so I know that. We know that Kidman's going to be going through some stuff shortly, so we're going to do something there, but and the match got the crowd hotter. 64 segment, I'll take that out of the opening matchup. Post-match, Chris Kanyon grabs a microphone and says that he is the biggest star in this company. He's beaten former WCW legend after former WCW legend, and he's tired of the fact of being disrespected by the company, and that he feels he should have a match on the biggest show of the year, our anniversary show, and the fact that Chris Kanyon is not on there is not okay. He gets interrupted by Mike Awesome, who says he's tired of Kanyon's bitching and complaining, and says he doesn't have a match either. So this Sunday, Chris Kanyon versus Mike Awesome is going to happen. This is a little bit of a lazy booking, and this is my fault. The original plan was to have Kanyon kind of be off TV for a little bit. But I kind of was looking through, and I kind of need him right now, especially going into our 1 year kind of mark here. But I think at the same time, both these guys are well established guys now on the card. And the fact that neither one of these guys had a match is not okay. So I just felt that I know I'm going to get a good match out of these two, so I'm going to roll with it. 69 overall rating. Good stuff. In a bout that had good heat and decent wrestling, Hayashi defeats Mark Jindrak in 9:43 by pinfall with a fast roll-up after interference from AJ Styles. I don't know why it doesn't say that, but Hayashi at 65, Jindrak at 51. Both storylines have advanced, and the announcing quality lifted the match. 60 overall match, so definitely a better performance this week out of Jindrak. AJ Styles returned after being attacked by Jindrak, so it looks like we are going to get Pinpoint at Slammiversary facing off. So good stuff there. But I think just overall, I think we had to get Hayashi a win here, just because he's been playing flip-flop with Chavo, which Chavo is not on this show, I'm pretty sure, so we'll discuss that at the very end here. But Hayashi needed a win. Jindrak, his loss makes sense because AJ's interference, and we get a little bit more heat before that pay-per-view match. So good stuff, 60 overall segment. Steiner brothers come down to the ring and call out the Militia. They want Ray Gonzalez and Super Crazy in a match right now. Tag title story has advanced, and the Militia's advanced. So if you remember last week, the Militia had a impromptu tag team title match, and the week prior, the Steiner brothers also had a tag team title match. And the week the Steiners had the match, the Militia ruined it. The Militia have a match, Steiners ruin it. So it's just natural. They got to face off. The collision course is coming right now. So here we go. Awesome. And in a decent match, the Steiner brothers defeat the Militia, Ray Gonzalez, and Super Crazy in 10 minutes when Ray Gonzalez gets disqualified when fighting Rick Steiner. Scott Steiner carried the match. Rick Steiner at 56, Scott at 79, Super Crazy at 63, Ray Gonzalez at 57. Tag titles have advanced, Militia has advanced, Scott Steiner and Rick Steiner have great chemistry, and the match got the crowd hotter. 68 overall segment. Post-match, both teams are kind of arguing back and forth on who should challenge the Outsiders. The Outsiders' music hits. They come down on the stage and they say, this Sunday at Slammiversary, the Outsiders are going to be fighting champions as we're going to defend the tag team title. Since neither one of you want to give each other fair opportunities, we're going to face off in a triangle tag team title match. It's going to be the Outsiders defending against both the Steiner brothers and the Militia. Both storylines have advanced in a 69 overall segment for a big tag team title match at the pay-per-view. Looking very forward to that. We get a backstage promo from Mitchell and Abyss saying that on Sunday, Abyss promises to end Bill Goldberg here in World Championship Wrestling. He's going to put Bill through the biggest and worst experience of his life on Sunday. The feud is coming to an end. One person walks out on Sunday, one person leaves on a stretcher, and he will force Bill Goldberg to say, I quit. 65 overall segment. Abyss and Goldberg storyline has advanced, and Mitchell does a masterful job as he always does. So good stuff. And in about that had great heat and decent wrestling. Abyss defeats Diamond Dallas Page in 7:33 by pinfall with a black hole slam. Abyss is 69, DDP of 54. The announcing quality lifted the match, and we got a 66 overall segment for the match. Abyss gets a nice little win here over Diamond Dallas Page, who is still a name. We're slowly kind of weeding him down the card. It's 2002. It's time to kind of start pushing DDP to the sidelines as he's going to be coming up towards retirement soon. So why not use him to help build some new stars on TV? Because we know we're going to get a good TV segment out of him. So good stuff. 66 overall segment. Post-match, Goldberg hits the ring, hits a spear on Abyss, and then goes underneath the ring, sets a table up in the corner of the ring, and sets Abyss up and hits a spear through the table, laying Abyss out as Goldberg stands tall going into the pay-per-view. The storyline has advanced and gained heat with a 72 overall segment. I'm very excited for this match on Sunday. I'm very intrigued to see kind of what you guys' reactions to it are, and kind of what you think about it because I know a lot of people are going to have some opinions, so I'm looking forward to it. But I think you'll understand why I'm doing what I'm doing. So, 72 overall segment. We get a side-by-side interview with Sting and Booker T. Kind of your classic HBK Triple H type situation. Both guys are throwing back and forth jabs at each other. Booker T claims that Sting has nothing, that he's been jealous of him ever since he won the belt. Sting calls him out and says that if he remembers correctly, Sting was the one walking in with the belt to Starrcade, and that Booker T never even beat him for it. Just going back and forth until they both storm off. Storyline has advanced. Sting looked good, Booker looked good, and Sting's getting better at his gimmick. 78 overall. Good stuff, both men. I think this is just the safest possible way we can finally get to this match 6 months later, which is so sad that it happened this way, but I'm actually kind of making it work. So, good stuff. 78 overall segment. And in a tag team match, a decent match, Triple X defeats those Southern boys in 8:21 when Christopher Daniels pins Kid Cash with last rights. Elix Skipper a 58, Daniels a 58, Noble a 55, Kid Cash a 57, 60 overall segment. Good win out of Triple X here. Good rating for the match. I'm going to be honest. So, Chronic and Triple X were supposed to have a tag team match at Slammiversary and blow off the feud. There was a certain superstar that I was forced to focus on when signing back, or signing to. I'm not going to tell you which one. And I didn't notice that Brian Adams' contract was up, and he left on expiry. So that storyline is over, and we're moving forward. And just wanted to kind of address that so we didn't have a weird situation here. But that's my fault, and I try my best to stay on top of writing out things as early in advance as possible and making sure I'm on top of things. But with so many contracts kind of coming and going, got a little chaotic. So my fault, but moving forward. So there we go. 60 overall match there. Good stuff. Backstage, we got Rey Mysterio walks up to the Outsiders and says that, I know you guys have a big tag team title match this Sunday, but you know, I kind of need some backup tonight against the Dynasty. I need the tag team champions. You guys in? Nash and Hall, they say, you know, I know we have a weird past, Ray, but we got your back tonight. We'll team up with you to face off the Dynasty. Tag title storyline advanced and gained heat. World Championship storyline advanced. 72 overall segment. Ray found some friends. Nash and Hall, which is odd, you know. And one thing that I will say that I am definitely going to make sure I do, history is not just going to be ignored. That's why I mentioned like the weird history between these guys, because Nash is the reason originally Rey Mysterio unmasked. Scott Hall, obviously, him and Nash just, you know, against Ray have had a little bit of a thing in the 90s, so I don't want to pretend that didn't happen. But at the same time, I don't want that to be an overlying issue, because they are going to team up tonight. So, 72 overall rating on the backstage segment. And about that had good heat and decent wrestling. Rhino defeats the Hurricane in 950 by pinfall with a gore after interference from Buff Bagwell. Rhino is 69, the Hurricane of 58. Buff versus New Gimmick storyline has advanced, and Frankie, Kazarian, and Rhino storyline has advanced. Announcing quality to the match, 67 overall rating. Post-match, we got Buff Bagwell and Rhino putting the boots to the Hurricane as Frankie Kazarian hits the ring and makes the save. Both storylines have advanced. Buff and Don are a great pairing, and the Hurricane improvised well with a 58 overall segment. So, 2 singles matches for the card on Sunday between our mid-card acts that I think all 4 men are in a good spot right now, to be honest. I would love to do more with Rhino, naturally. Buff, I think, is just in a perfect spot, the way I've written him right now. Frankie's on his way up, and the Hurricane just got back to the company, and he's in a good spot, I think, going forward, too. So, 58 overall segment. We'll look forward to both of those matches on Sunday. Ken Shamrock is coming to World Championship Wrestling. 55 segment there. I'm still rating him on overness. I don't want to rate him on anything else yet, so that's why his rating is a little bit lower. But Ken Shamrock, the world's most dangerous man, coming to World Championship Wrestling, which is kind of ironic in the timing, because June 2002 is when he joins TNA. So in real life. So it's gonna be interesting to see what I do with him. I already have a plan in place, but you know, we're not gonna talk about that. And he got a great rating, so I'm happy about that. Good, good. Rob Van Dam, we got a promo from him backstage saying he's coming after Guido's US title that Guido never pinned him for. RVD says he has been holding that championship for the most of the year, that he has held the US championship at the highest standard, and he does not want the Militia to bring that to bring down that championship, and that he wants to win that belt back from Guido on Sunday, and he doesn't care how many Militia members he has to go through to do it. 68 overall segment for Rob. Good stuff out of Rob here. Again, another situation where I don't want Guido and RVD wrestling on this show. You can argue that, I'm having Ray and the tag champions wrestle, but I just wanted to play it safe as best I could before the show. And in our main event of the evening, and about to have great heat and good wrestling, Rey Mysterio and the Outsiders defeat the Dynasty in 12:23 when Rey Mysterio pins BG James with a springboard Hurricane Rana. In terms of in-ring work, Rey Mysterio Jr. was head and shoulders above everybody else. BG was the weak link. BG a 53, Dustin a 64, Double J a 72, Scott a 67, Nash a 76, Rey a 92. Both storylines advanced and gained heat. 78 overall segment rating. Let's see what we get for the overall show. 75. Okay, we increased popularity in 25 regions. I'm very happy with that. Guys, here's the situation. So this week, what I want to do is I want you guys to comment. I'm gonna write in the description the match card for Slammiversary, and I want you guys to do me a favor, as many of you guys as possible, in the comments. Put who you guys think are gonna win each match. Instead of a common question of the day, that's what we're going to go with. I want to see what you guys kind of think on where things are going. And, you know, maybe something will change if I see a lot of things going one way or another. So I appreciate everybody, obviously, watching the content, liking the video. I think we hit 10 last time, which is amazing. Let's aim for that again. And let's just keep pushing. We got a big pay-per-view coming up on next week's show. So hopefully you guys are still trugging along with us here, because like I said, I have a lot of stuff written out. So I'm just going to keep pushing this content out to you. And do me a favor, I did post on the community page as well what you guys want to see going forward. So I really need some assistance with that. But other than that, guys, we're going to see you next week. All right?